Violence breaks out at 30,000 feet and forces an emergency landing after a flight attendant is assaulted on a plane out of JFK.
Already watching the next storm system approach. Will we stay dry through morning?
She's gone from Gloria Estefan to Roxy Hart. New York Live hits the town with Broadway star Anna Villafañe for some of her favorite New York spots. This is News 4 Now for October 28th. I'm Adam Cooperstein. A flight attendant got punched in the face right in the middle of a flight from JFK, forcing an emergency landing. The American Airlines flight was bound for Orange County, California, but had to divert to Denver after a passenger says that a fight broke out over face masks. The passenger who allegedly threw the punch was removed at the gate, and then the flight continued while the flight attendant was taken to the hospital. Passengers say at one point the pilot even asked them to help de-escalate the situation.
I saw him being duct taped to a chair, and that was like all I saw. I didn't see the actual hitting of the nose.
The flight attendant got punched in the nose by some guy, and I think it was broken, or it was bleeding a lot, so they had to take her to the hospital, had to make a pit stop in Denver.
It seemed like the man that punched the woman just kind of knew that he had done something wrong and became subdued. I understand that he actually punched her twice. If you're not prepared to wear a mask, you're not prepared to fly.
American Airlines says acts of violence against team members will not be tolerated and that the passenger has now been banned from flying. A New York State trooper is facing murder charges for a pursuit that ended with the death of an 11-year-old girl from Brooklyn. Monica Goods was ejected from her family's SUV and died after investigators say the trooper rammed the vehicle after a traffic stop in Ulster County last December. The New York Attorney General says the chase began when Trooper Christopher Baldner used pepper spray during the traffic stop, and Monica's father then sped off. Baldner then allegedly struck the vehicle from behind, which caused it to flip, and it wasn't the first time either. The indictment reveals that Baldner rammed into other cars twice before this incident.
Clearly, this state trooper never should have been on duty at the time this happened. Apparently, there was a pattern here.
He should have been fired and put on desk duty immediately. But it took him taking a life to shed light on the wrongdoing.
She can make anybody laugh, doesn't matter how you feel, and it's sad and it hurts that we don't have that no more. We were robbed, and it's not fair.
State police say Trooper Baldner surrendered yesterday morning and was suspended without pay. He is now charged with murder, manslaughter, and reckless endangerment, and his next date in court is November 4th. Investigators call this a sophisticated scheme. 5 people are accused of using school supplies to smuggle millions of dollars worth of cocaine into the country. Narcotics investigators say the suspects try to use the post office to ship coke-filled lunchboxes and school binders from Puerto Rico to New York and Massachusetts. 66 pounds of drugs were confiscated in the past year. The suspects live in the city and in Yonkers, and they face drug and conspiracy charges. Trash is piling up on city sidewalks, and we're talking more than usual. And some New Yorkers are now blaming Mayor de Blasio's vaccine mandate for a pickup slowdown. Here's what it looks like on Staten Island and in South Brooklyn. We're told sanitation workers appear to be slowing down trash collections. Only 2/3 of them are vaccinated against COVID, and many workers are upset with Friday night's deadline for all city and uniformed employees to get the shot.
There's some places where we're seeing that the totals just don't add up in terms of the trash being picked up. We're going to the union.
The city sanitation department tells us they are aware of collection delays. They say you can leave garbage at the curb, and they also encourage you to report uncollected trash to 311. So far, no response from the sanitation union.
Hi there, I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Maria LaRosa. Hope you enjoyed the little bit of a break we got from the wind, the rain, the clouds, all of it coming back, some of it by tomorrow morning. So looking at the winds first, they do shift now to the east, and they'll start to pick up by tomorrow morning in that 10 to 15 mile per hour range. But by the afternoon and evening, gusty winds back up in that 30 plus mile per hour range. As far as the clouds, the rain, we still are going to hang on to partly to mostly cloudy skies through tomorrow morning, but we'll see that steadily increase through the day. That rain coming at us by tomorrow evening. As far as temperatures go, it will be another chilly start. Down to 48 in the city, 42 in White Plains, 46 in Islip, but plenty of 30s to go around. Had a little frost this morning. Temperatures down into the low 30s from New Paltz, Liberty, and Claryville in the mid 30s. Newburgh down to 39 degrees as high temperatures once again stay below average in the mid 50s.
She wowed crowds to their feet as Gloria Estefan and now Broadway breakout Anna Villafañe is stepping into the stylish shoes of the iconic Roxie Hart. And New York Live caught up with the new star of Chicago to check out some of her favorite local spots.
The name on everybody's lips is gonna be Anna Villafañe because she is welcoming Broadway back in a big way, starring as Roxie Hart in Chicago. So we first met in 2015 when you were making your Broadway debut in On Your Feet. I've seen that show more times than I should admit to you, and so much has transpired in your career since then. Can you just give me a little timeline?
I mean, I moved to New York to make my Broadway debut, which is already in and of itself such a fairy tale. I've been here ever since and have been doing a lot of TV. I did a play off Broadway, and I've just been very, very happy to be making choices and kind of playing roles that really interest me. And I've been spoiled because from On Your Feet, I know what it's like to go to sleep every day saying I really loved my job and to be energized to go work and to be energized to tell a story. So now that's kind of forever the standard. This is very much one of my favorite places. It's called Tacocina, which is a play on words because tacos, obviously, and then cocina, meaning kitchen in Spanish.
What do you order when you get here?
Well, first of all, frozen margarita. These are the two vegan taco options here, the chayote and the mushroom. And then guac, because
have to have guac.
It's an absolute must, no matter what. This is the vegan tortilla soup. And then churros.
I was reading something on your social media when it was announced that you would be playing Roxie Hart, and you talked about how, you know, thrilled you were to be back on Broadway, but also said something about like never give up on your dreams, specifically talking about that little girl in the wheelchair.
So I grew up in and out of a wheelchair because of having rheumatoid arthritis since I was 7 years old. It's an extra thing that I have to think about, but it's very much just part of my life. But yeah, I've been living with arthritis for over 20 years, which is like so wild. But it's really nice to feel empowered and to be like given these opportunities to even surprise myself of what I'm capable of.
What would Roxie Hart say to everybody who wants to come see her on Broadway?
She'd be confused as to why you haven't yet.
For a dog owner in Queens, it was her worst nightmare. She says the same business that she hired to take care of her pet lost her instead. And to make matters worse, she tells News 4's Gabi Acevedo they gave up searching before the dog was found.
Our little baby. Kudos is finally back home after a 24-hour ordeal that had her owners worried sick.
Panic, shock, fear of losing your little baby.
It's any animal owner's nightmare. It really is. It's horrible.
Rachel Fala and her boyfriend Chris told News 4 how one of her 3 dogs got lost after she hired the services of a business called Disco Paws before taking a family trip to Las Vegas.
We went on a trip and we left you our life in your hands. And for you to basically have no compassion for it and have us worried, knowing that we trusted you.
And that's what has Rachel livid. She says there was a lack of urgency to find Kudos after the dog slipped out of its leash while being walked by a staff member in Astoria. Upon hearing the news, her boyfriend jumped on a plane back to New York.
Animal rescue team, we put out a reward for $2,000. Not once did they tell us, like, you know, we'll help you with the reward. Like, we'll try to do whatever we can.
To make matters worse, Kudos got lost in the middle of a nor'easter. But then today, Rachel got a call after someone saw her dog's missing poster on social media.
I had a guy on Instagram call me through Instagram, and I answered, and he was screaming on the phone, like panicking. I see her, I see your dog.
She's limping.
A little bit?
She's a little limping now. She's trying to like stay off her left leg.
The dog limping, but otherwise okay.
People we don't know, but spent hours and hours helping that you can't even repay people.
But the couple still wants answers from Disco Paws. We made multiple attempts to contact the business, but they declined to comment. Rachel and Chris are of course happy that Kudos was found, but now they're contemplating what to do next, not ruling out any legal options after going through what they described as a nightmare. Reporting from Astoria, Gabby Acevedo, News 4, New York.
Thank you so much for watching News 4 Now. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.